What's going on, everyone? It's David Palmer, Leo King, and this is your weekend astrology report for the weekend of, it is June the 20th to the 21st of 2020, the solstice and the solar eclipse in Cancer. What's up, everyone? Now, I just want to say that this is an extremely fate train time. I don't know, it's been a long time since I said fate train, baby. Woo! So we all gotta prepare ourselves, and I'm sure you're already in it right now in life, where there's this massive shift that you can feel that's been this deep undercurrent, because this is an eclipse season with 3 eclipses. This is a solstice with a 0 point involved that makes squares to the 0 point of all astrology, which is 0 Aries. And we have Mars that's on its way home. It's finishing up here in Pisces. It's been squaring the lunar eclipse, and now it's squaring this eclipse. And now it's about to come home to that 0 point here, as after this eclipse this weekend happens, we are going to see massive Mars energy, and it's activating Mars since we are in major retrogrades, as Mercury just went retrograde this week before this whole solstice solar eclipse. That's 5 retrogrades if you count Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and don't forget Venus. But after this eclipse on the 21st, we are going to see, which of course is in Cancer, which we'll get to in a second, we're seeing Neptune come into retrograde. So having 6 planets retrograde in the middle of this eclipse cycle, literally middle, meaning we have 3 eclipses, is extreme. And when you talk about fate, when you talk about destiny, it is when you see these retrogrades happen. It is with a solar eclipse right on top of the North Node, which happens to be in Gemini, but we are moving into Cancer. So to see the energies of the Sun and the Moon shift over the North Node in Gemini, but then do an eclipse in another sign, is a signal of us moving completely into another time cycle. We are also at the galactic center point of the whole entire universe here. From our point of view, we have to remember that the galactic center goes through this line, which technically it's 27 degrees of Sagittarius, but if you really think about it, it is the balance point between Cancer and Gemini and the balance point between Sag and Capricorn, which we are seeing these eclipses, we are seeing this energy. And so when we really say that the world is changing and it will never be the same, I like saying that better than it's over, you know? It's about learning right now and adapting to have your open heart open to being comfortable with this new reality. That's the first thing, because Cancer is about feeling comfortable and safe. Yes, I know, it always gets the whole entire kind of aspect of like, oh, I gotta feel home and safe with my chicken noodle soup and the Bachelorette on and da-da-da. I mean, that's not how I roll in my life, but there's that whole notion of Cancer has to have that comfortable energy in life. And so this is about you right now having to find a way to be comfortable with the new universe, the new world, and more importantly, where are you deceiving yourself? This is Neptune at 20 degrees of Pisces, stationary direct on the eclipse on the 21st, and then retrograding, stationary retrograde on Monday the 22nd. So this is where this is uncovering, while not only your destiny and also in your individual life, but in the world that we see at large, there's this other part of a deep revealing in yourself of where are you lying to yourself? Where are you deceiving yourself in a way where it's like what things are really not on your path and which things are? Or sometimes it's just remembering the past to remind yourself of who you are again, to remind yourself of where to go, where to bring yourself to true home, true north too, actually, if you think about where this North Node is, which is the environment. I like to say locality, and the local environment and the home in your life that makes the most sense without getting too emotional, because there is that aspect where you have to calculate here and you have to remember, and yes, this is an emotional time, I'll be honest with you, and there's a lot of discomfort around because of the fact that whether or not you are, I hate the term woke, because it's not about that, it's more about becoming aware of what is not serving you in your life right now, that's not going to bring you to the true place of comfort. If you're having so much discomfort at this moment in your life, there's obviously a major problem. But if you're comfortable at this moment and you feel that you're in alignment, this is the rocket ship that's shown up, that's here to take you even farther with that you've been doing your work, that maybe it hasn't been a hall of illusions of mirrors, but maybe it's been that hard work of doing that in the past that has brought you to finally this point. And so that this is really why I keep saying there's a deep, and I don't even like to say it, since for the last 8 years every day I keep saying illuminating the collective consciousness. Maybe Carl Jung was right. Maybe it is a collective unconscious. Maybe we really are seeing a split here in the collective. But I still think that the collective conscious is everything, and I think that the only way for the collective conscious to come together is to see a split in the collective. And you can't be a judge or a jury of, who is woke and who is not, because that just throws you into that position of where that's just you starting to feel like uncomfortable with how other people might be, or whatever their journey is, or wherever they're at in their life. That's not your job to get involved. It's not your job to get involved. And that's the problem with what we're seeing in the media today, is everybody thinks that you need to get involved in other people's lives to change their lives or tell them how things should be. You should learn to be comfortable with yourself. This is what this is about. Do you know how to be comfortable with yourself? Do you know how to be comfortable in your own soul? Do you know how to be comfortable in this world that is changing? And if you don't at this moment, you need to look in the mirror, and I would especially look at the boob tube, because this is Neptune at its highest deceiving moment when it stops. And to see an eclipse with it, which a quincunx to Saturn, is not easy. Especially Saturn in Aquarius, right? Because there's this whole notion of like, it's almost cool to do what the media tells you to do or not, right? Saturn in Aquarius is not about being a rebel. It's about realizing that you become the outcast the more you go to the truth. And right now, what seems trendy and cool is actually not the truth. That's what Saturn teaches. Because if a true Aquarian energy, the original God of the universe, the ruler of the universe, who got banished by his own son, Kronos, you have to remember that to be part of that understanding of universal energy, it's about going your own way, that you don't have to follow the way that everybody does in life. The more that you find your uniqueness and you're comfortable in the weird world that's shifting just as much as our collective is at the same time, which makes this truly a moment where we've never seen in our lives such deep synchronicity between a collective and an earth consciousness and just the universe all shifting at once. That if you're not comfortable on this exciting ride of that, that's where you're going to have to start looking at these really weird issues, especially the past. Where in the past did you not clear that up? Where in the past did you avoid that or numb yourself out because you don't want to deal with it, you don't know how to, and you're uncomfortable? These are the triggers in your life that are holding you from your rocket ship of your truth and knowing the environment and knowing the ultimate path in your life at this moment. And this is this eclipse that, out of nowhere in many ways, is trying to send you home. Trying to send you home into your soul. Trying to send you home into yourself, and to be like, home is not this place that you have to radically do some crazy thing for. It's where you kick your shoes off. It's where you chill out. It's where you sit on the couch. It's where you know that you're surrounded by comforts and you're surrounded by protection because you're in truth. You're in alignment. You're in the place of the roots and the foundation that can support you in your life. And so this weekend you have to ask yourself that. And we all don't know what that looks like until after this eclipse and on Monday when Neptune retrogrades, that the Hall of Mirrors are going to show up into our face and show us whether we are or not. So ask yourself that through this weekend. And of course, this is going to be a beautiful moment for people to really start to find what is truly home to myself. And we have to look at our own weird selves, our own weird souls, our own weird reflections. And we have to look at it in such a weird way to be honest with ourselves instead of try and tell ourselves, no, that's not what it is, and suppress things that are not true to ourselves. We got to stop that. And that suppression is causing the issues of uncomfort more and more and more. To be a true feeling of, to be the human that you want to be at this moment, is to not suppress your feelings or not suppress the truth of who you are, no matter how weird it looks with the weird angled Saturn here in Aquarius. It's about to leave, come back into Capricorn. Jupiter, Pluto in Capricorn as well, which are, we've never seen a Jupiter, Pluto and Capricorn in any of our lives, because it's that long for Jupiter and Pluto to meet in Capricorn, and they're retrograde. And 13 years ago in 2007 when Jupiter and Pluto met in Sag, they didn't do it in a retrograde. Jupiter passed Pluto and said, all right, good to see you. See you in 13 years when we do that crazy meetup. They're at their meetup. And we're going to see the retrograde here connection in this following week of the eclipse, which is why you're seeing financial systems crumble and you're seeing the whole entire structures of life crumble. And I would hate for you to see your own life crumble because you're not living in your full truth and you're not knowing how to know to make tough decisions in your life within yourself and in your outer world about what is in your truth, what is the true home for your life. And not accepting and not suppressing and not just saying, I'll just deal with this, I'll just accept this, I'll just accept the things that are not in your true home of yourself. No matter how inviting it might seem in your life to do certain things, because it's more comfortable to not deal with the uncomforts, that's a structure that's about to be blown away that will not support you. Just like the three little pigs had to learn from the big bad wolf, that if you're not built out of brick right now, your house will fall down. I got a card for you for this weekend. And it's the King of it's King of Cups. So it is. How very Cancerian is this? But you have to be in charge and control of your emotions. But sometimes that whole idea of control of your emotions has to come from a space of where you have to have made empowered decisions in your life that are uncomfortable to become comfortable. You have to be willing to not allow certain sensitive things in your life to overcome you, because the kingdom of the emotion world means there is no emotion that can take you down, but there's also no emotion that you will not be afraid to feel. And that's what this is going to be about, is what is home? Is the home of a crayon box of all the beautiful colors of the 64 crayons that come into that box. It's all the emotions, including the colors you don't like to draw with. A lot of people like to use the same color all the time in their life and just keep painting the roses red and keep painting their life with the same colors all the time, but they're too afraid to feel the full spectrum because it's that wholeness that only comes from the full spectrum. I love you all very much. Of course, Spiritual Dance Music will be on Monday because I'm out here in the redwoods right now and I'm going to go jump in that river right now. Get some water in me. Maybe you should get some water in you too. And maybe you should just learn to just go wherever you feel called in life, because there's answers that'll come deep within yourself. And stop looking way out there with South Node and Sag and on the media and all looking out so far when all the answers are right now in here and mostly in here. But it's all within you right now. And I'm not just saying that it's just like what you hear from every spiritual channel in the world. This is the alignment where finally you only know inside. What's being told on outside is bullshit. Love y'all very much. Join highvibe.tv. Love y'all.